What's going on, folks? Ted from Nerd Immersion here, and funny, I was just talking about this. Wizards of the Coast has released, like they did for D&D Celebration last year, a map. And if you recall last year, this map had all sorts of things you could click on, and they could lead you to previews of what was Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden. So if you click on the Hall of Illusions, for example, it'll take you to you can click through this portal and go through this portal. And for example, if you click Loom Lurch, you can check this and then download a preview of something. I'll show you the preview so far. There's also things and stuff here. For example, the Pixie Kingdom just gives us information. But one of these other ones that I clicked on was at the bubble. So there's a game, right? Here's a puzzle challenge, right? There's all sorts of different challenges that will provide you. You provide different answers, and they will give you different things as well. Ticket booth had something. I think this had one as well. This was... take me to the final puzzle, and then there's obviously different things you can do to click through this, right? So I wanted to show off 3 of the previews, but here we go. So preview number 1 is the Metallic Dragonborn, folks. Very exciting. This is the stats we'll be getting in these. I don't believe they say that they're final, but we'll take a look, right? So you are humanoid, you are medium, you have a medium walking speed of 30 feet. You have a metallic dragon ancestor granting you a special magical affinity. Choose one of the kind of dragons from the table below. You get a breath weapon. It's a 15-foot cone. They must make a dex save based around your constitution. And they take a d10 damage of the type associated with your metallic ancestry. On a success, a successful save, they take half damage. It increases by a d10 now at cantrip scaling levels. So 2d10 at 5th level, 3d10 at 11th level, and 4d10 at 17th level. You can use your breath weapon a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. I also forgot to say, when you take the attack action, you can replace one of your attacks with this breath weapon. So it is in place of an attack, which is right. So it's not a separate action. So if you have multiple attacks, it has uses. You also get a damage resistance based on your metallic ancestry, as you can see down here: brass fire, bronze lightning, copper acid, gold fire, silver cold. Also, you get your metallic breath weapon at 3rd level. When you take the attack action, you can replace one to do a 15-foot cone exhalation. It is constitution based yet again. Whenever you use this trait, you can choose one of the following: enervating breath. Each creature in the cone must make a con save or become incapacitated until the start of your next turn. Or repulsion breath. They must make a strength saving throw or be pushed 20 feet away and be knocked prone. Once you use your metallic breath weapon, you can't use this until you finish a long rest. So that is long rest recharge, whereas the breath weapon is proficiency bonus times per long rest. But I like this change. It's now up to a d10. So even out the gate, it's pretty strong at level 1. It's a d10 damage, and it is a 15-foot cone, so it has a decent AoE. This has a lot of very powerful uses on things like, say, a paladin or a fighter who may not have AoE and who will have multiple attacks that they can choose to replace one with this breath weapon. So I very much like that. We also have the Drakewarden Ranger. Let's take a look. I have not viewed these ahead of time, so we're going to view these together. So let's take a look. So we have our Drakewarden Origin table, and at level 3 we get Draconic Gift. You learn the Thaumaturgy cantrip, which counts as a ranger spell, and Tongue of Dragons. You can speak Draconic or one other language of your choice. Then you get your Drake Companion. As an action, you can magically summon the Drake that is bound to you. It appears in an unoccupied space within 30 feet. It is accompanied by the Drake Companion stat block. When you summon the Drake, choose a damage type listed in its Draconic Essence trait. You can determine the cosmetic characteristics of the Drake, such as color, its scale texture, or any visible effect of its Draconic Essence. Your choice has no effect on its in-game statistics. In combat, the Drake shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but the only action it takes on its turn is the dodge action, unless you take a bonus action on your turn to command it to take another action. This is standard, pet mechanics now. The action can be one in its stat block or some other action. The Drake remains until it is reduced to 0 hit points, or until you use this feature to summon it again. Thank you so much for listening, Wizards. Remember last time in the original UA version of the Drakewarden, it only lasted for so long, like a number of hours, and then it went away, and it was so many times per long rest. This was my biggest complaint, and they fixed it. It now stays permanently until it is either dismissed or it's reduced to 0 hit point. Anything it's wearing when it's carrying is left behind. Once you summon the Drake, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a first level spell slot or higher. That's beautiful, because we're going to have first level spell slots by the time we gain access to the Drakewarden class, and we can only, it's once per long rest, but we can spend spell slots, which is a great thing to do to get it back. Bond of Fang and Scale at 7th level. When you summon the Drake, it gains a swim speed equal to its walking speed and can breathe both air and water, or it grows wings on its back and gains a fly speed equal to its walking speed, your choice. In addition, when the Drake is summoned, you and the Drake gain the following benefits. It grows to medium size, reflecting your special bond. You can use the Drake as a mount, even if your size is medium. Oh, whoa, hold up, that's huge. It's medium size, but you can still use it as a mount even if you're medium size, which breaks the typical mount mechanics, but that's interesting. While you are riding your Drake, it can't use the fly speed of this feature. Okay, so you can't have a flying mount at 7th level. Okay. And it also, the Drake's bite deals an extra d6 damage of the type chosen for the Drake's Draconic Essence. It also gets resistance to the damage chosen for the Essence type. So here is the companion. It is typically small. It gets 14 plus proficiency bonus natural armor. So we're starting at 16 AC, going all the way up to 20 by late game. 5 plus 5 times your ranger level, that the Drake has a number of d10 hit dice equal to your ranger level. So it gets hit points is 5 plus 5 times your ranger level, and they're d10s, so that's if you need to short rest. 40-foot movement speed, it's 16, 12, 15, 8, 14, 8, okay. It gets dexterity and wisdom saving throws, which starts off as 1 plus proficiency bonus and then 2 plus proficiency bonus for wisdom saves. The immunity is determined by the trait that we'll look at in a little bit. Dark vision out to 40 feet. When you summon the Drake, choose a damage type, acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. The chosen type determines the Drake's damage immunity and damage of infused strikes traits. So he flat out gets immunity to a damage type. Also, we have a bite attack that does a d6 plus piercing, plus proficiency bonus in piercing damage. At level 7, we add a d6 of the damage we chose. It also gets infused strikes as a reaction. When another creature within 30 feet of the Drake that can see it hits a target with a weapon attack, the Drake infuses the strike with its essence, causing the target to take an extra d6 damage of the type determined. So let's read that again. When another creature, not the Drake, causes damage within 30 feet of it, hits another target with a weapon attack, the Drake infuses the strike with his essence, dealing a d6 of the associated damage. So in theory, if you crit, that d6 damage will become 2d6, so they can both empower the ranger or somebody else in the party. That makes this Drake a very powerful tool for the party. I'm very excited. Folks, I've never been this excited for a ranger before. I'm pretty stoked so far. We still have more coming. All right, Drake's Breath at 11th level. As an action, you can exhale a 30-foot cone of damaging breath or cause your Drake to exhale it. Choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage. The choice does not have to match the draconic essence of the Drake itself. Each creature in the cone must make a dexterity saving throw against your ranger spell save DC, taking 8d6 damage on a failed save or half on a success. This damage goes up to 10d6 when you reach 15th level. That's not so bad. That's pretty decent. 8d6 in a 30-foot cone is... Look at that doesn't sound like a lot of damage, 8d6. Grid out on a battle mat, 30-foot cone. That's huge. And then 10d6 with 15th level. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest, unless you expend a 3rd level spell slot or higher. Okay, I get why it's not proficiency bonus times per long rest. I kind of wanted it to be, so you could be just shelling out breath weapons all over the place. 8d6 and then eventually 10d6 damage 5 or 6 times a day is a lot. So you still can do it multiple times via spell slots, right? And if you get magic items that return spell slots to you, like a Pearl of Power, for instance, that could be useful. And lastly, 15. Perfected Bond. The Drake's Bite attack deals an extra d6 of the chosen type, so it's 2d6. So it starts off as +3 plus your proficiency bonus to hit, and it does a d6 plus proficiency bonus piercing damage, now doing 2d6 of the essence type. Large, your Drake now grows to large size. When you ride your Drake, it is no longer prohibited using the flying speed, so now it can be a flying mount for you. And reflexive resistance, when either you or the Drake takes damage while within 30 feet of each other, you can use your reaction to give yourself or the Drake resistance to that damage, any type of damage, and that's unlimited times. That's pretty good. It's pretty good, folks. Gotta say, I hate to say it. Kind of like it. Actually, kind of like it a lot. And that's not including any of the funky stuff you can do with Tasha. I kind of want to play one. Damn it. I guess Drakewarden Ranger looking for party? All right, let's keep going. There's more. Then we have a Moonstone Dragon preview, which is awesome. So ancient legends suggest that when the gods came to the first world, this is a whole concept of the first world, right? Tried to populate it, humanoid followers, a clever dragon fled to the Feywild to hide a clutch of eggs. The magic of that fairy realm suffused the eggs while it hatched into the first Moonstone Dragons. Their descendants are now found throughout the Feywild. Moonstone Dragons are graceful and elegant creatures with opalescent scales and ruffs of emerald green fur running down their chins, chests, backs, and tails. One horn arcs from the back of a Moonstone Dragon's skull and another at the tip of the nose. Two horns together form a shape reminiscent of a slender crescent moon. They can project themselves into the realms of dreams to communicate with creatures that sleep near their lairs. In this way, they inspire artists, poets, and encourage great thinkers and spur adventurers to heroic deeds. They sometimes give guidance to those in need or request help for adventurers to encourage them to greatness. Okay, for their lairs, Moonstone Dragons look for places kissed by the moon, lonely peaks, forest clearings. The challenge rating of a legendary Moonstone Dragon increases by 1 when it's in its lair. All right, we got the lair actions. Count of 20, the typical. Banish into Dream. The dragon targets a creature it can see within 120 feet of it and attempts to send that creature to a dream plane. The target must make a DC 15 Charisma save or be banished to a harmless demi-plane until initiative count 20 on the next round. While there, the target is stunned. When the effect ends, the target reappears in the space it left or in the nearest unoccupied space. And we have a stat block for an adult Moonstone Dragon. Now, it doesn't give us everything, because it doesn't even give us the breath weapon, unless they don't have one? Alright, huge dragon. Here we see the typically, alignment typically neutral. Okay, immunity to charm. Blind sight and dark vision. Legendary resistance. It does a bite attack that does 2d10 plus 5 piercing plus 2d6 radiant damage. And then it has a claw attack, but that's it? No breath weapon? Okay. Compulsive dance. This is still a lair action. The dragon targets a creature it can see in its lair, and a merry waltz begins to play that only the target can hear. They must make a DC 15 intelligence save or dance until initiative count 20 on the following round. The dancing creature is incapacitated and must use all its movement to dance. Disorienting visions. Disorienting illusory images flit through the creature's dragon's lair. Each creature in the lair must succeed on a DC 20 wisdom saving throw or have disadvantage on ability checks until initiative count 20 on the following round. Regional effects. Okay, dream communication. Whenever a creature that can understand a language sleeps or enter a state of trance or reverie within 6 miles of the dragon's lair, the dragon can establish telepathic contact with that creature, and converse with it in its dreams. The creature remembers its conversation with the dragon upon waking, and then planar transition. The veil between planes is thinned near a Moonstone Dragon's lair. Various portals link the material plane, the Feywild, and the border ethereal within 6 miles of the lair. Creatures can pass through a portal in either direction by spending 5 feet of movement. If the dragon dies, any portals near the lair close. So there you go, folks. Check out the D&D Celebration Map. I'll have a link to that as well as these previews in the description down below. Also, keep an eye on this channel and that map throughout the weekend, as if it's anything like it was during last D&D Celebration, additional things were unveiled and revealed as the weekend went on. They were just like shadow dropped into the map, and the map is interactive, so you should be able to find different things as we go along, and they'll all lead up to that ultimate final reveal, which will, again, be probably on Sunday, which is the last day of D&D Celebration. You'll be gathering all of your clues to combine them all together, although you might be able to figure it out ahead of time. Anyway, I'll keep my eye on it. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.